Hello amazing people and welcome to my channel. My name is Desiree and my channel is A Twinkle in Their Eyes. You will see all things homeschool, faith and mum life here. Lots of different videos about lots of different things. You will never be bored. Today is a collaboration with the Ingrid Chronicles and it is all about homeschool reflection, honest answers from homeschooling mums. So there will be a playlist in the description box down below where you'll be able to go and you'll be able to see all the other videos from all the other gorgeous mums that are joining in this collaboration. There will be so many gems and I encourage you to go and visit that. So the first question in this collaboration is why? My 3 reasons why I'm homeschooling. Okay, so just to let you know off the bat, I've got 4 boys. We've got a 10-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 2.5-year-old and a 5-month-old, and our oldest son went to school for 3 years. So he started off in 3-year-old kindy, he was at 4-year-old kindy, and then he was in pre-primary at school, and he did year 1, so 4 years. And during 4-year-old kindy, one of his mates left for homeschool. Now, ever since his friend left for homeschool, he begged me to homeschool. And my goodness, I definitely just didn't think I could do it. I just didn't think I could do it. The reason I sent him to school so young was because I was heavily pregnant and he was so smart and I just thought he needed school. But actually, truth be told, he just needed me and I didn't realize it at the time. And if I could rewind time, I would do things a lot differently, but we can't rewind time. So he begged me. Now, I said to him, Jordan, I don't think I can homeschool. But if you really want this to happen, then you need to really give this to prayer and give it to God. And, you know, if God wants you to do it, He'll make the way. So lo and behold, this child prayed for 1 whole year about homeschool. And eventually the burden in my heart grew so strongly to want to homeschool. And so we then had to begin praying again, because Dad wasn't quite ready to want to let that happen yet. So we had to pray that if it was the right thing, that Dad would come on board. And eventually he did, and so we began the journey. So my first reason for why we homeschool is because I really feel like it was a calling from God. And a child prayed it into being, but I believe that God called me to it. In all my life, I've never wanted to be a this or a that, but the only thing I've ever wanted to be in all my life is a mum. And so homeschooling it is like the biggest gift. I feel like it's the biggest gift in my life. It's the biggest blessing to be able to be with my kids all day, every day, teaching them. And so yeah, that's just one of the biggest reasons why we homeschool. In fact, that's the only reason why I homeschool, is because God called me. Like, I really feel like He's calling the weak in this instance, and if any glory comes from this, it's going to be all for Jesus. There are other reasons, of course, that I know that I'm grateful I homeschool. Number 1 is that we can teach our children in a way that they learn. I know that when I was at school, it was all textbook learning, and everything was it didn't suit my creative style or the way I learn, which is very hands-on. And so a lot of the subjects I didn't do great in because it was all like just learning from a textbook and super boring, and it didn't work for me. So I love the fact that we homeschool so that we can incorporate all different learning styles into our school, and that our boys can learn and thrive because we're going to meet them in their need and in the way they need to be taught. So I'm grateful for that. Number 2, I'm also grateful that we can incorporate our faith into our homeschool, and that there are no limits or bounds on us expressing our faith in our home and in our school, in the kids, and growing them up in a way that honors and loves and adores Jesus. So I guess those are my 3 reasons, and they are pretty strong reasons why we homeschool. And I'm grateful for that. The next question is for me to share 1 to 2 ways that I practice self-care in our homeschool, because, you know, as homeschool mums, we are wearing so many different hats, and, you know, the journey is actually not always easy. For me, I'm grateful that I feel called to it and I feel like I'm in my dream job, but also it is not easy. So it actually does take some kind of commitment to fill our cups so that we can overflow and fill the cups in the house. Now, I know that I have actually neglected self-care for quite some time now because we've been on a run of having babies at the moment. Our last baby is 5 months old, and so there really doesn't feel like much time to take for myself, but I do try to incorporate some things that fill my cup. Lately, I've really gotten into Bible journaling. So every moment I get to myself, I'm trying to spend time doing my Bible journaling because that really fills my internal cup, and also helps me to be a better mum. So it's really a good thing, and it's kind of like hitting two birds with one stone. Also reading, I do love reading, so I try and get that in when I can. I do love taking a good walk, and I do love doing exercise, but I'm really in a rut with that right now, so I need to get way better at that because that is what fills my cup a lot, but I'm not doing it, and I need to. So the ways that I practice self-care do need to get better in terms of I actually just need to do it, but those are the ways that really fill my cup. Another thing that fills my cup a lot is going out to dinner or to coffee with good friends, and just soaking time with other mums and enjoying their company. That is really something that fills my cup. So those are my what do I do to fill my cup tips. Well, personally for me, I am so excited to watch the rest of these collaborations to hear what other mums do. Okay, the next question. In my homeschool experience, what are my strengths and what are the areas I need help in? My strengths, I would say, would definitely be leading the kids in time with the Lord. Things like spending time in worship, spending time in the Word. That is really something that I find so easy to do with them. The other thing is read alouds. Anything when it comes to read alouds or art or creative things, I find that super easy to incorporate into our homeschool. The things I do find challenging as a homeschool mom and that I need to get better at is planning in advance, prepping in terms of going through what I'm going to be teaching for the week or the day, making sure that I know what's happening and not winging it. So basically I do a lot of winging it, which means just open the book and see what's happening and teach on the spot, which I believe that if I did that better and actually spend time in that stuff before I taught it, I think I would do a lot of a better job. So that I need to get way better at. The other thing I need to get better at is probably patience and making sure that if I am not good at a subject or not understanding it, I need to definitely prepare better so that I can be a better teacher, more patient and kind teacher. The other thing I need to get better at is self-care so that I can then not be tired and also have a full cup so that I can pour out, because sometimes if I'm tired and I haven't looked after myself, then I can be a little bit on edge, and that's not so nice. So yes, my strengths are having fun and doing all the stuff that I love doing with in creativity and things like that. My weaknesses are doing the things that I actually am not that good at and feel are repetitive and boring, and it's something that I've had to work on a lot, and it's something that I am getting better at, which I'm grateful for. Okay, so this is a super important question, and this one is, what do you do when self-doubt creeps in and you feel those thoughts that are saying you're not good enough to teach your kids, you're not qualified, you are not a teacher, you are not good at maths, you don't know everything, etc. What do you do? What do you use? What do you think on at those times, and what strengthens you to keep going? Well, I'm just so super grateful for a God that loves me, and I just stand on the word because I know that in the word it says that God calls the weak to confound the wise. And that scripture, I'm not sure it's exactly where it is, but I will try and find it, and I will put it on the screen in the exact words and from the exact place in the Bible that it's from. That is what I stand on continuously in this journey, because I know that I am not I'm not a teacher. I wasn't super amazing at school, etc. Mostly because, like I say, the way I was taught, but also I didn't put an effort in because I did like to rather like the social side of things a bit more. But but there are things that I'm not great at, like maths and things like that. And so there are a lot of times when I do doubt myself, but I'm always standing on the word, knowing that God, if He called me, and I know that He called the weak in this case, He is going to help me to know what I need to know. He's going to put people in my path. He's going to put ideas in my path, and He's always going to open the way for times when I feel like I'm not good enough for this journey. And He always reminds me that He called me, and that He is going to be the one that gets the glory for any and everything that happens in homeschool, in terms of my children and how they learn and how they grow and what they absorb and how smart they are. All the glory goes to Him, because in this case I am actually not qualified for this job, but He called and He will qualify me. So that's where I get my strength. That's where I get my get up and go. And that's where the self-doubt flies out the window, because I have such a strong faith in God's ability and not my own. So the next and final question is, what do I as a homeschool mom use for professional development? So there is something called the Homeschool Summit, and that is really helpful. I will put the link in the description box below again. That is like a summit where a lot of different people who I think they've got homeschool experience come on and just chat about homeschool and their experience and things that help. And it's a Christian-based summit, I believe. So that's really helpful. The other thing that really revolutionized our homeschooling was a book by Sarah Mackenzie called Teaching from Rest. So I do believe that wonderful books are also a great tool that I use for professional development. And the other thing that I love using are actually older homeschool moms who have been there, done that, and gleaning from their wisdom and talking to them, chatting to them, because they've been where I've been. They've lived it, they've done it, and they've found what works and what doesn't. So those are my tips for you. I will also put the name of the book in the description below. But just once again want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching till the end. Please, if you have loved this video, please do give it a thumbs up. That is so helpful. Do subscribe if you like what you hear here, and do hit that bell, because that will then let you know what content we put out. We usually put a video out once a week, sometimes twice, but most of the time it's consistently once a week. We are grateful for you. We're thankful to have you here. Don't forget to check out all the other ladies in the playlist below once again to glean so much wisdom. And be blessed. Have a wonderful, wonderful day, or week, or whatever it is that you're experiencing right now.